guys. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Welcome, everybody, especially our new audience on Instagram. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We have a great show, but first, I do want to say thank you to everyone out there because it is actually an amazing, amazing time. And so we've got great topics to share with you. We started Saturday, we roll all the way through the week, and we finish up on a Friday. So great to be with you guys. There's so much that I want to share with you. But if you're new here, take your smartphone and scan the QR code. But if you can't do that, then go to believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations that will literally jet you into the future of inspiration to achieve those promises that you want so badly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to thank you whether you're here 8:30 at night, 8:30 in the morning, 1 a.m., 1 p.m., 12 noon, 12 midnight. Thank you so much for being here on the Inspirations for Your Life show. We have some great guests coming up early next month. So that's in December, only about a week or two away from that. So definitely great. But let's get right into our topic, shall we? So our main master topic is this, ladies and gentlemen, and it is all about Thanksgiving. And the title is Gratitude Unleashed. Transform Your Thanksgiving. Series 2 means we're in our second year, show 47, and then we're on episode number 4. Remember, we have 7 episodes within every show. All right, guys. So let's get right into the master topic because that's what I want to talk about. So we talked about a lot this week, and we're talking about all the ways that you can embrace Thanksgiving, but you can embrace things like, togetherness. You can embrace gratitude with your family this entire Thanksgiving weekend and hopefully beyond. So one of the things I tell people to do on Thanksgiving and the holidays is to create traditions. If you don't have any traditions, we'll make some new ones. So why not watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade? I don't know if you guys know this, but the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade has been around. Who knows what was the first year of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade? What was the first year of that? Well, it was actually held in 1924. Of course, the balloons and the whole concept of Thanksgiving has changed. But maybe you're probably asking, so why did Macy's start the Thanksgiving parade? And I bet you're going to be surprised with what I tell you. There was a pretty big history about this. And there was also a controversy that was brought up about the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Nearly 22,000 people signed the petition organized by 1 million moms that challenged what was described as, quote unquote, the not family friendly parade. Signers did so, I should say, in opposition to what was described. And it was basically a problem, and they were actually attacking the LGBTQ agenda. And that Macy's is pushing it on families during its parade. And I don't think that's the case at all. I think people out there are not confident in their own skin and they want to rain on everybody else's parade. I mean, it doesn't matter who you love, who you like, who you're friends with, who you're not. You have that choice. And there's a lot when we think about the Macy's Day Parade. I mean, back in I think it was right around 1924. There was a group of animals from the Central Park Zoo, and they marched down a street in Harlem, accompanied by a very special group of people, a handful of immigrant Macy's employees who wanted to express how thankful they were for living in the United States that year. And thus, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, ladies and gentlemen, was born. And so while animals are important, and while the annual tradition of now featuring A-list stars and Broadway performers and millions of spectators watching from their living rooms, I think people are starting to lose the concept that Macy's parade, when it started, had a very humble beginning. Now it's all about, who's hosting it, what are they doing, and things like that. And although I think it's great that they do that, I think sometimes we lose the meaning of what the Macy's Day Parade is all about. And I know you're probably saying to me, "Hey, John, with the balloons, there was the first ever balloon was Felix the cat. You guys might remember Felix the cat, and Felix was the biggest star of his time, and it debuted in 1927, and he was filled with air and not helium. Instead of soaring above the New York City streets, he was held up by stilts so that he didn't drift all over and cause any kind of issues. So, to commemorate the parade's 90th year in 2016, Felix made a triumph return again, filled only with air and carried on stilts to go back to the tradition. Of course, we have some other issues that have been happening, such as a rubber shortage, put the parade on hold for a while. And Macy's wasn't the first department store to have a Thanksgiving Day parade. I want to let you know that. The balloons used to be released at the end of the route, but there's a good reason that actually stopped. In the early years, they would untether them and they would fly away and, yes, end up somewhere on Long Island. And if you found one, well, you could claim a reward if it didn't cause you any damage, that is. And so, not all balloons are created equal, I'm sure you guys know. And thinking about this, we had Popeye. There's also the bonus of how much do you think the parade costs? Well, as far as the costs, it was quite a bit. And no one ever really knows how much it costs because um, Silverman never explained. And Macy's won't disclose that either. They explained, as they say, it's a gift to the city. And as with any gift, you don't leave the price tag on it. So I think it's very interesting, what Macy's is doing. Obviously, they do this because of their business and promoting and things like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's important, though, that when we have these celebrations, that we remember our humble beginnings. We remember how we got started. We remember the whole fact about the Macy's Day Parade starting with animals marching down the street with the first immigrants that were so happy to be here in the United States of America. So I think that is pretty cool. All right, let's talk about some other traditions. So another great tradition is why not enjoy warm pumpkin pie, pecan pie, and or apples topped with ice cream. Now, just the other day here at our club, because you guys know I'm in Florida, they had a very interesting event. It was actually Monday night, which was just yesterday, and they called it their cocktail hour with pies. That's a pretty that's a very, very unique thing, if you ask me. And I think a lot of people didn't realize, what was going on. But I think the interesting thing about pies is that, it got us in the mood for Thanksgiving. And you might want to know where they came from. We'll get to that in a minute. But I want to share with you something important. So, of course, there were drinks, and then there was, let's see, there was apple pie, which is like an apple crumb. There was also some pumpkin pie, which you always have to have when you have pies. And then there was another type of pie. It was a sweet potato pie. Then they had a pecan pie, one of my favorites, and then they had a chocolate pie. So you probably are wondering, and I am too, how did pies make it to Thanksgiving? Like, where did that come from? So pies came to the newly formed United States in the late 18th century from the British immigrants who brought their long-standing tradition of meat and fruit-filled pastry pies. And it wasn't until the 19th century when pies became the standard American Thanksgiving dessert. So I think that is really, really cool. And pumpkin pie earned a big spot on the Thanksgiving table as New England's holiday grew into popularity. Thanksgiving as a holiday gave thanks for a bountiful of autumn harvests with annual feasts, and it became important in the holiday of the colonial New England. And pumpkin pie, of course, was the staple. Of course, everyone you talk to has pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving. Pumpkin pie and a scoop of vanilla ice cream. Some of the other pies that you may or may not know about for Thanksgiving, and these are also popular. So we've got sweet potato pie. It's a silky smooth pie loaded with spices, and the pie's got sweet potatoes in it, and you can make them, very sweet, or you can make them just lightly sweet. Chocolate meringue pie. We've got Oreo pie. We've got buttermilk pie. We've got brownie pie. Uh, Ancho chili spiced pecan pie. Caramel apple pie. Pumpkin pie. Plain pecan pie. Coconut cream pie. Chocolate peanut butter pie, right? We've got lemon meringue pie, banana cream pie, no bake key lime pie, Mississippi mud pie, pecan pie bars, German chocolate pie, dreamy apple bars, apple pie bars, apple cranberry Gillette, chocolate pecan pie, cranberry orange pie, pumpkin cream pie, sweet potato pie with marshmallow meringue, chess pie. That's an interesting one. It's like a custard pie with a cornmeal crust. Apple pear lattice pie. Of course, we all know that one from many years ago. Maple pecan pie, homemade apple pie, Nantucket cranberry pie, chocolate pie, spiced apple pie, cherry crumb pie. That's a lot of pies, if you ask me. But my favorite to be on the dinner table for Thanksgiving for dessert has to be pecan pie, pumpkin pie, and apple pie. Those are my favorite to be on the table. So, you can make mini pies. They can be big pies. My suggestion is when you have holidays or any kind of dessert, is to make the pie small or to cut people very small slices. So at this event that I went to the other night, they actually took our pies, and what they wound up doing is they actually took them in a way that, again, they were very small. And because they were very small, they actually, people were able to eat a lot of them. I mean, I had a little bit of everything, and it was great. So pies are a way to say thank you. Pies warm the heart. Pies create an environment that says, hey, it's family, or right. Pie is, I'm going to say, something that can tie the whole meal together and the people together. But again, remember before you start any meal, as we said the other day, to bless all of your food, including all your pies. So last night, when I had gone to this pie cocktail hour, it's the first time I ever went to a cocktail hour where you had cocktails and then they served pie. Of course, they did it for Thanksgiving, but I think it's interesting when we can sit back and reflect and really savor our pie. I don't know about you, but I love my pie with a decaf tea with milk. Coming from the English side of the family, love to have my tea, and something about a nice hot tea with enjoying a piece of pie. And the best way to have pie is to just take a small piece with your fork, put it to your mouth, taste it, savor the flavor, chew it, and then swallow it. And then have a cup of tea, right? And then go back and do that again. So I think pies are great because they allow us to bring an emotion to the table. You might say, well, food does that. Yeah, food does that. But pies allow more of they allow more of an open type feeling. If you go somewhere and say, hey, we're going to have pie, or come over, you might have heard people say, come over for coffee and cake. Well, people say, well, come over for some pie. We don't say come over for cake, come over for some pie. It just has this very warm tone that makes us want to have pie or come over and celebrate pie. When you bring pie over to a neighbor, it really shows them that you care. And just going through these different types of pie with you tonight, I want to ask you, what's your favorite type of pie? Do you enjoy a warm pumpkin pie with some vanilla ice cream? Do you want a pecan pie? I love that warmed up. An apple pie warmed up with ice cream. Some people even use Cool Whip. Not my favorite, but you can do that. And I think the neat thing about pie is that you can savor all the flavors in it. I also love pie that has cinnamon and things like that. And, if you're on the fence about trying all the pies, why not have a little bit of each pie? Be a very small piece, but you can at least savor that flavor. And when you can do that, I feel that you're able to move from a state of just, eating to a state of being in community. What do I mean by being in community? It means that you're open to sharing not only, what's going on in your life, your world, but you're open to connecting with the people at the table. And I think it's one of the very few times of the year, Thanksgiving and Christmas, other holidays, that we come together and we communal over pies because it really helps us to remember where we came from. Pie, whether it's a savory pie or whether it's a quiche type pie, I'm sorry, you have a sweet pie. A sweet pie is more dessert pie. A savory pie is more for like dinners. But pie is just, I don't know, when you say the word pie, it has just this great feeling. And when I think about having pie, I get a smile on my face. Tonight, I actually had this upside down uh, apple pie, and it was pretty cool. I got to tell you. And then they put some. Basically, they had some sauce on the side, and it was really good. Of course, there was a scoop of vanilla ice cream. You can't have it without the vanilla ice cream. But I think when you can have your pie and you can enjoy it, and you can create memories by sitting around the table and enjoying pie. I probably said pie more than you've heard pie in your entire life, but just saying that you're going to go to a friend's house and we're going to pick up a pie, it I don't know, it creates a certain dynamic. One that I feel a lot of people don't get because you go for dinner and what do? They bring cookies or they bring cake. Now there's nothing wrong with cookies, there's nothing wrong with cake, but when you bring a pie, how'd you like the apple pie? Grandma's apple pie when somebody's selling a home. Oh wow, I hope you like pumpkin pie. We just made some, and of course you didn't just make some, you made some so they could get into that mood, right? Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know who I am. I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's an amazing privilege. It's always a pleasure and honor to be with you this fantastic evening, as it is every time that I go live with you. I hope you'll like, love, support the channel. Definitely comment below. Tag your friends, colleagues, and associates. Share this out with everyone you know on social media. Of course, click on that link. Help keep our content free and make that choice. Buy my team and I a cup of coffee, a bowl of fruit, a scrumptious bowl of desserts, and how about a couple delicious savory pies? We'll be so grateful for those pennies and dollars you invest into us. We'll put that in new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, even new facilities to give you the most jaw-dropping motivational content to give you an amazing quality of life. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed being with me. I've got more great content coming for you. So stay tuned to Inspirations for Your Life again tomorrow, which will be episode number 5. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to see you guys real soon. But remember, start some traditions. And if you haven't, some traditions, let's just say that you want to keep going, well, definitely live those traditions, but create new ones because that's when magic and memories will happen. All right, guys, have yourself an amazing evening. I'm going to catch you guys tomorrow, all right? Be well.